Hi all. So continuing on from previously, we have a entire node directory that exists within our scene, and to improve upon that, we can actually start accessing particular nodes using an actual script. So we're going to create a new node directory script. And opening this, we're going to use Visual Studio 2022. We're going to make use of this by accessing various components within our scene by using this core structure. So we have multiple things that we can do here, where we have const string, c core, c root is going to equal main. So this is going to be representative of this node here. We can have additional nodes for each one of these, so C core equals core, const string, C2D equals 2D, (3D) and UI, and then we can combine these to be able to retrieve particular nodes from within our directory. So if we also define multiple different directories that we can access, we can have a whole dictionary. We're actually going to define a node type here. I like to be explicit with things, so I often, the more strongly typed your language is, the better. So we have core, which is going to be our root. To 2 dimensions, 2D, three-dimension, then we'll do UI. And then within here, actually we're going to remove these. We're only going to focusing on the network manager because we only need to know essentially what you're intended to do with this is to find the particular node that you're most suited for. There's nothing going to be attached to core, but our networking manager is going to have something within it, such as our networking manager class. So we can define a node type as well as a string for our path. This is going to be our node pass. And then we're going to basically combine these. So we're going to have node type, networking manager. And we're going to add this with the core is always going to be C root. And actually root, so there's a special existence that exists within Godot where root is actually the res folder. So root exists when you're going through a particular from the initial of the scene, and there's actually, so now we define main. So main is technically tucked underneath the root node. So we're going to have main, which contains all of these. Then we have core 2D, and all of these are going to have their particular locations. So now C2D is relative to 2D, C3D, which is just prefix for const, C3D is going to be C3D. We have UI, which is going to be UI, and main is main. And so this is going to end up being C core and prefixed with networking manager, which will give us the route path to here. So anytime we happen to, say, use this random script over here, which is a networking manager, for some reason we want to find a reference to our own object, we could use node directory dot node pass sub node type, which is actually going to be node directory dot type, but we're going to do using node directory dot node type. So now node type is referenced over here, so we're going to be using node type dot networking manager string path equals this. So now, although this is relative to itself, this is now accessing the node that exists here. So if we had any scripts, and if this was actually on, say, a 3D node that for some reason needed access to, say this was a character, could add a quick character script here. When we put this character script on this, and we open character, and we needed to get the networking path, we could now have access to this node, which we can use through Godot's script, GetNode script. So we have, could keep a reference of this. So we have private networking manager as soon as we run this, we'll have access to the networking manager. So we do m networking manager equals GetNode of type networking manager using our path. And now this character has a reference to our networking manager. So say if we had to do, if there was networking APIs that existed in here to say send packet information such as a vector 3 of position, now we have reference to the networking manager. And we can expand on this even further. If, say, we had a input manager, now I could get access to the input manager. All we have to do is add to this node directory an input manager. Another one, maybe HTTP manager. Maybe we have to make web API calls, etc. And each one of these would be attached to this. So then we'd have something like node type, HTTP manager, C core, HTTP manager, and then we'd have an HTTP manager in here, so just another node, HTTP manager, etc. And this just continues to go downwards so that we can access basically anytime we have a ready call or a enter scene, scene tree call, we can actually just call this. We use the character script. So now we have reference to these particular things. If we wanted, I do not have a script made for it, but if I made a HTTP manager, attach it to this, and then we had private HTTP manager, we can do the exact same thing. So path now equals node directory, node pass, node type, HTTP manager, mHTTP manager equals GetNode, HTTP manager. And it just continues onwards. It makes it extraordinarily easy to be able to access various nodes for whatever data type you need. And it'll always, anything that's non-graphics wise, you just keep nested within your core. And it makes it very easy to add on new types that you may have to add. So I hope this helps. Cheers and good luck in your Godot adventures.